and a voice like thunder shall sound. And then they will know we have arrived. Oh, hey guys, so you're probably wondering why I'm saying weird words and waving this card around like an idiot. That's because I'm excited for my Final Fantasy Type 0 HD review. That's right, we are going to be taking a look at the redone Final Fantasy Type 0 HD that was originally a PSP game, Final Fantasy Type 0, or originally it was going to be called Final Fantasy Agito 13. So, is this game the first M-rated Final Fantasy game worth a look? So, are you guys ready to go to war with me? Because I'm ready to battle and throw cards at people. Yes, this thing is a deadly weapon. If I were to throw it at my camera right now, it would explode and probably kill me. So I'm not going to do that. But I am going to tell you what I think of this game. So guys, get ready because school's about to start. The game machine starts now. Final Fantasy Type 0 HD is not your typical Final Fantasy story. I mean, sure, you got the classic summons, crystals, and chocobos. Sweet, sweet chocobos. Big Bird ain't got nothing on these birds, except the ability to count, or maybe say his ABCs. Anyways, chocobos are cooler. The tone of this Final Fantasy is a dark and violent one. It's even got a mature rating on the box, which no other Final Fantasy has ever had. The violence in this game isn't the gory kind, where you see like people's entrails and stuff get out. No, nothing like that. This ain't Mortal Kombat, for Pete's sakes. But it is more kind of like a war movie. Though, if it was set in the Final Fantasy universe. So, Final War Fantasy, if you will. One of the earliest scenes in the game sets the tone for how the rest of it will go. The story revolves around 4 nations, and one of the nations, called Milites, decides to go to war with Rubrum. In response to these attacks, Rubrum calls in the aid of Class 0, a group of cadets that have extraordinary powers. And guess who you get to play as? No, not the Chocobo. Come on, it's Class 0. The story is filled with political drama, which I really enjoy. I just wish the characters were fleshed out a little bit more. Sure, some of them you'll get a little bit of a history on and some background, and some of them are very key to the plot. But some of the characters, of course, just don't get much screen time, and I really would love to know a little bit more about my fellow classmates. And if Rem will go to the prom with me. Come on, Rem, please, please?
So I'm just wondering what that good reason could be.
But then again, of course, it's a cast of 13 main characters. On top of that, all the supporting cast you gotta keep up with. Yeesh. The story does get deep, and I've already went through the game and I am so loved it, and there's still more to go back and rediscover in a second playthrough, which I can't wait to start. Though the only thing that's really a mixed bag with Final Fantasy Type 0 is in its presentation. This was originally a game made for the PSP, and we never got it here in the West. It got tons of praise from those who imported it and from people in Japan. But now we're finally getting this in HD for the new consoles. Though, keep in mind, this was originally a PSP game, and the problem is some things look really great, like the main character models, for example, and other things show its age. While some of the environments are varied and look great from an artistic standpoint, you do see a lot of parts of these textures that are low-resed, and some of the NPCs, well, they still look like their PSP counterparts and could have used a little TLC. While not a big issue for me, the camera motion isn't that great, and I've known people who said that the camera moves so fast and the blur when you turn makes them feel nauseated or cause headaches. It's something that I hope that they do get patched, but for me personally, it didn't really ruin the experience, and I didn't really notice it. One of the other issues is the voice acting is not that great. Well, I didn't mind the voice acting itself. I thought the actors did what they could with it, but I feel like that maybe the direction of it did not go, because some of the lines came off a little awkward, a little weird, and didn't sound as natural. Almost like they were trying to imitate maybe their Japanese counterparts instead of trying to make it more natural toward a Western audience.
Whatever I want? How about... Moglin! 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 A land!
This really sucks.
What's wrong?
But for those who really want it, fear not, for there is light that shines from this crystal, as there are Japanese voiceover options for those who really truly want it. And another positive note is the soundtrack for this game is incredible. It's just so good. I've been listening to it in my car over and over. And like I said before too, the environments, there's all kinds of different environments and places you can get to and go to explore. Even though it has its flaws, don't let this scare you off, because where this crystal really shines is in its gameplay. When I say the combat is the heart of the game, oh boy do I mean it. What can I tell you about the combat? Well, you got your party of 3 plus your reserve units, so the rest of your squad members sitting back while 3 of you go ahead. You can swap out between those members in combat, or if you fall, you can swap out with another party member. You also can sometimes in certain missions get the ability to summon CPUs. It will help take it easy on your reserves if you're worried about going to a mission and everybody getting annihilated. These little reticles that pop up, either yellow or red. So if a yellow reticle pops up and you hit an enemy at that specific time, you do critical damage. When they have a red reticle on them, when you hit them at the right moment, insta-kill. That's right, you completely annihilate them, you wipe the floor with them, they are gone, no more, c'est la vie. It just adds a great layer of strategy, so it's not just a numbers game. There's more strategy to it, and no matter which difficulty you pick. Yes, I played on the normal and I had to go to the lower difficulty because I'm not that great, but still, there were missions I had to implement strategy, and there were moments I still died. Because this game is challenging, not in a Dark Souls kind of way, but you will have to learn and use strategy to win and defeat your enemies. You got a cast of 13 playable characters with all different and unique playstyles. You got King, who uses dual-wielding pistols and a rocking mullet. Seiss, a silver-haired girl who carries none other than the weapon of the Grim Reaper himself. And Ace, who uses a deck of cards to fight because God games. Each character you have can level up their own skills and abilities throughout the game. You have a great way to evade enemies by rolling and dodging. And you can even use this outside of battle for no absolute reason, unless you're a Zelda fan like me and you just want to look like a fool. Keep on rolling, 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 rolling. What? Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Come on! Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Yeah! Oh, come on. You know you did it too. You can also level up and improve things like magic abilities for your party, power up your summons, and raise chocobos. And I demanded the person who was raising them to give them back. Give me back my babies. And yes, it's open world. Yes, 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 yes. Finally, a Final Fantasy world we can explore yet again. And oh yeah, there are random encounters because it's what Final Fantasy do. There are other parts to break up the gameplay a little, like a mini RTS kind of thing, where you claim and defend bases, and sometimes you can even go inside cities and invade them all Genghis Khan style. Between your missions, you can talk to NPCs to get items, do quests, learn more about your classmates, or just keep rolling like I do.
What's wrong?
You can even explore towns, which usually are kind of 1 or 2 big room areas. Now, remember, keep in mind this was a portable game at one point, so you probably weren't going to have vast cities anyway. But the flip side is most of the missions can be done within an hour or so's time, which makes it very accessible for those of us who can't put a lot of hours in at one time. There's so much more I can go on to with the other gameplay stuff. It's fantastic, and I'm hooked on it. Yes, it is a mixed bag. It's far from perfect. The graphics being a mixed bag, the English dub not being as good as it could be. Despite these flaws, it's one of my favorite games so far this year. And if you only bought this to play the Final Fantasy 15 demo, then you should play Type 0. If you love Final Fantasy and you want a more mature game, then this is a fantastic one to play. If they do get to make an opportunity to make another one and improve upon what they did here, then I'm probably just gonna roll myself to death in delight. In fact, I'm going to start rolling now. So, till next time everybody, class dismissed. Hello guys, and thanks once again for watching another episode of The Game Machine. And I want to let you know that we have other stuff too. We got Tiny Toons Adventures review for Game Boy that you should check out if you like some retro stuff. More retro stuff coming. Also want to thank Anime Courtyard for their support. Go check out their website at animecourtyard.com, link below. And also, subscribe and share this if you like the content. Get the word out if you do enjoy it. So until next time guys, keep gaming on.